The mind isn't a sanctuary. It's a war room, a loading chamber. Every thought is a bullet, and every belief is either loaded with precision or wasted on targets that don't even matter. People don't get it. They think power is in action, but the ones who last, the ones who dominate, they've already won before they even move. Because their mind is locked, loaded, and already pointed at the right enemy. Most waste their ammo, firing off emotions at shadows, shooting doubt at themselves, waging war on ghosts, while the real enemy walks free. But you woke up. You stepped back from the noise. And you asked the only question that matters: what am I fighting for? And in that moment, you stopped being a victim of your own thoughts and started becoming their commander. Now your mind doesn't wander, it hunts. It doesn't spiral, it executes. There is no more overthinking, no more hesitation. You took your weakness and repurposed it into ammunition. You took your fear and melted it into strategy. You trained your own chaos to follow orders. And now, you're not just dangerous. You're intentional. You no longer shoot to impress. You shoot to end cycles. You shoot to shatter patterns. You shoot to break every false version of yourself that the world tried to make you swallow. You don't aim to win their praise, you aim to never need it again. You've become surgical, controlled, violent with purpose. And the best part, they still think you're just quiet, just calm, just still. But what they don't know is that you're fully loaded, and you never miss twice. Most people aren't unarmed, they're just undisciplined. Carrying a loaded mind with no safety, no aim, no command. They let anyone pull the trigger, an insult, a doubt, a failure, and suddenly they're shooting at themselves. Friendly fire. Self-destruction disguised as emotion. But not you, you learned the hard way. You stopped handing the weapon to other people. You took control of the barrel and asked the most dangerous question of all: who really deserves your fire? And once you asked that, the battlefield shifted. No more flinching, no more wasted motion. You stopped leaking energy. You stopped bleeding for people who wouldn't even bandage you back. Your rage became refined. Your focus became fatal. And your silence. That's the chamber cocking back. That's the warning they never hear in time. Now you walk different. Not loud, not aggressive, just precise. You're not seeking chaos, you're targeting systems, patterns, weak spots. You're not trying to win the argument, you're ending the entire conversation. You don't spray bullets hoping something hits. You fire once, through the lie, through the mask, through the fear clean. You've become what most people can't handle: someone who knows where to aim and when to pull the mental trigger. Someone who doesn't just carry pain, but delivers it strategically. Not recklessly, not emotionally, but with calculation that makes the room colder when you speak. This is no longer about being understood. It's about being unmistakable. They don't need to like you. They need to feel your absence like a wound when you walk away. They need to remember that once you stopped firing at yourself, you became something terrifying. A mind that chooses its bullets and no longer wastes them on the wrong targets. Because now you don't fight for attention, you eliminate distractions. You don't scream to be heard, you watch in silence as the room adjusts to your gravity. You've become a strategist of self, no wasted motion, no cheap emotion. You've learned that not every war deserves your presence, and not every insult deserves a shot back. The most lethal move now, restraint. Holding fire not because you're weak, but because you know how far one bullet of truth can travel when it's timed right. They don't understand that anymore. They confuse stillness with softness, composure with compliance. But that's the trick. Let them think you're done. Let them think you're tired, while underneath you're marking targets, measuring exits, memorizing patterns. Calculated, quiet, coiled. And when you finally move, it won't be rage. It'll be surgical removal. No mess, no second shot needed, just absence where a threat used to stand. You've become the thing that walks away while others burn. Not because you caused it, but because they lit their own fire trying to drag you into one. And you don't enter chaos anymore. You outlast it, you outthink it, you use it. Because your mind doesn't panic, it processes. It records, it adapts. And by the time they figure out what you've done, it's already over. You're already somewhere else with the next shot already loaded. This is what happens when someone finally reclaims their mind. It becomes sacred, guarded, brutal. A fortress no lie can enter and no doubt can live in. You no longer fight for survival, you fight to redefine the battlefield. On your terms, in your time, with your rules. And once your mind becomes that, you don't need to pull the trigger often, because the fear of your fire is louder than the sound of it. Because once your mind becomes that quiet, that exact, that dangerous, it stops being a weapon. It becomes a law of nature. Something that doesn't ask for space. It takes it, not violently, not loudly, just undeniably. You no longer enter rooms to prove anything. Your presence makes the weak adjust, makes the falsehoods crumble, makes time itself hesitate. Because now you walk like consequence. You don't arrive, you descend. You've mastered the art of waiting, not in weakness, but in sheer confidence that your moment will always come, and when it does, it won't be loud. It'll be final. The kind of move that doesn't echo because there's no one left to hear it. You become what most fear and few survive, a mind unshaken by chaos, a force too deliberate to stop, a presence that does not react to dictates. Let them throw shadows. Let them bark. Let them celebrate your silence like it's a retreat. You've learned patience isn't passive, it's lethal. Because while they waste their breath, you're studying the wind. You're studying the structure. You're mapping the collapse before they even see the cracks. And when you strike, you won't just break the door. You'll make sure it never opens again. You are not part of the noise. You are not part of the game. You are the thing they never prepared for, the return of someone who stopped asking to be understood and started designing their own reality. Unapologetically, unforgivingly, with the kind of focus that makes time bend and opportunity kneel. You don't chase, you position. You don't react, you reshape. And when they finally understand what you've become, it'll be too late. Because they'll be standing in the aftermath of a war they never even saw begin. Not with smoke, not with fire, just with silence. And the slow, crushing realization that the most dangerous weapon in the world is a mind that stopped waiting for permission to pull the trigger. Like, comment, and subscribe.